Yeah. Well, I don't, again, I'm concerned about this, what appears to be national lessening of restriction on criminals in terms of letting them out without charges or lesser charges or bail, no bail. I don't see how this helps make the residents of Connecticut safer.
Well, I agree. I think it just makes it easier for people not to face their charges. I think it makes it easier for the criminal and certainly makes it more difficult on the victim to get justice. And we have a difficult time recruiting police now. And we have a difficult time. I think police are more like firemen these days. They're reactive. Mm-hmm. And not saying fire departments don't do their best to prevent fires, but they're putting out fires instead of doing proactive. I don't see police officers digging through these drawers of warrants, prawn warrants, going to go out and look for them because everything's being filmed. They're over scrutinized by the media and by the courts. So we're creating a perfect storm for increased crime. And not only have I worked on all sides of this, as you may or may not know, I worked for the Judicial Department for almost 30 years. I was a chief probation officer.
Okay, didn't know that. Wow.
So I
got a bird's eye view.
I really did. I was in it. I was also the victim of crime 3 times.
Yeah.
So I had cars stolen. I had my house broken into, and I of course knew who the people were because of my position. But it's making it more and more difficult to enforce the laws and to hold people accountable for the charges that the courts are holding over their heads.
So where does it go at this point? This is currently an amendment, right? So
no, what this is the Judicial Rules Committee wants to make this change to the practice book, where I don't believe that's the right way to go about this. I think this should be a proposal that comes before the legislature in the form of a bill. And instead, what this I feel is an underhanded way to completely abolish the bail system and bondsman system that's holding criminals accountable. And as you said at the beginning of your program, it's going to spread to Connecticut. We've made it easier and easier. In my opinion, 16 and 17-year-olds used to appear in adult court back before the Malloy administration. We had what was called youthful offender. He instituted raise the age. Then all of a sudden, car thefts went through the roof because these older criminals send out the 16 and 17-year-olds to steal the cars because there's almost no accountability because they go to not to say that the juvenile court doesn't do a good job, but there's nothing. The juvenile court doesn't have as stiff penalties as the adult court, as you know.
And the fact that you're doing this is like taking something and sticking it on an implementer bill and get it voted on at midnight Friday night. I wonder if they're worried about this bill because if this had such widespread support, why wouldn't they make it a regular bill and put it before the House? Why would they try to sneak it in a different way? I guess.
Well, I think they know it would be scrutinized and it wouldn't be so easy. So I just don't. I think this is it's just going to create a perfect storm of crime in Connecticut. And I agree. It should be a bill that gets scrutinized, and instead it's going through the Judiciary Rules Committee, which is just, in my mind, not the right way to do things.
Yeah.
And my guess is not too many people in Connecticut know that this is happening.
I didn't know it was happening, quite frankly, until I read about it this morning.
Which is why I think it should be a legislative action. And I'm on the Judiciary Committee. It should go through the Judiciary Committee, get aired out in a public hearing through the legislature. I just think it's too grave of a change to be done with a sweep of a hand in the practice book.
Too small a group of people making a decision. That's why we have the system we have, so that people can debate, talk about it, get it out in the open, have it out and expose the sunlight.